Welcome everyone to Best Wedding Ever. We are Nicole and Alex. We help new and novice officiants plan and officiate perfect, personal wedding ceremonies. So if you have a question about how to turn your ceremony chaos into the best wedding ever, let us know in the comments.
Welcome back to Best Wedding Ever, everyone. In this episode, we're going to talk about my favorite topic, which is exercising complete and ultimate control over every single aspect of the ceremony. Now, I'm not going to use the term control freak because I don't believe I have a problem.
You're not a freak.
I know there are dozens of us, but I do know that many officiants struggle with how to help their couple make a plan, stick to the plan, and make sure the plan is comprehensive. So today we're talking all about our favorite way to plan.
We love a plan because we know that people who think that they can wing it might find that the flock has flown away on wedding day.
It's very poetic. Very poetic.
My poetry to you, madam. Because plans help things from being forgotten, and for those who think they can wing it, I think a plan helps keep you focused during the ceremony and not being distracted, having to make a ton of decisions during crunch time. So let us introduce you to our best friend, the Backwards Plan.
Oh, we love it.
Please know that we actually help you create a backwards plan in a lesson of our course, How to Officiate a Wedding Ceremony, and then help your couple adapt it to encompass all the wedding to-dos.
So, in the interest of transparency, fun fact, peek behind the curtain, we did not have a day of coordinator or a wedding planner because I don't trust outsiders. And we also self-decorated, self-catered, and event managed the entire thing. We also had a week-long destination wedding where we made our friends and family go on vacation with us. So there were a lot of details. We were on a remote beach that was difficult to access. It was hard to get to the grocery store. And that could be the first 10 minutes of a movie about a haunted house where you're screaming, "Don't go upstairs." But it ended up being a fabulous time. We were not running around like crazy. And our officiant was not unduly burdened. No one was unduly burdened with too many responsibilities. Nothing got forgotten. So tell them our secret.
So we made a backwards plan from the end of the wedding series of events and worked backwards, plotting each moment that needed to happen to get us to the final product. So if you've never heard of a backwards plan before, ta-da! The definition is in the title. So you can use any kind of format you want, spreadsheet, doc, Google Doc,
blank piece of
Post-its that you want, as long as you're starting from the very last thing that needs to happen. And for us, that was returning the U-Haul of everything that we needed to bring down to the beach with us.
Right.
So the show wasn't over just because the final wedding brunch had been had. We had to go all the way to the end. Mm-hmm. So what we actually did was brainstormed all of the things that needed to happen during the week, and then delegated responsibilities so that a bunch of people had a slice of the whole, and no one person was ultimately responsible for all of it. That was our big goal, was to make sure no one had that. Then as we were delegating tasks, we made sure that everyone who had a task had their questions answered and anything that they needed in advance of the wedding. So again, we weren't waiting to the last minute to let people know what they needed to do.
Okay, so let's get into an example so people can see exactly what we did.
Okay, so here's one part of what we did. We self-catered the whole thing, all of our meals, the whole week. And to make sure that wasn't chaotic, we decided a meal plan in advance. We decided a meal captain in advance, and assigned people as meal team members. So we made a recipe card and a suggested start time for when they needed to get dinner ready and which ingredients they would need to pull together. So we kind of like Great British Bake Off to the whole thing. And that really worked really well because we gave everyone everything they needed in advance, and it actually helped make sure everyone knew when dinner was going to be ready and what was served that day.
Yes. So what we did, the purpose of the backward plan and the goal of the backward plan was that it took all the guesswork out. People knew what was expected. They knew what was coming. And they didn't have to worry about like, wait, do I have to find a recipe for omelets? No, it was all right there. And they just got to execute it, be creative, and bring their love to it rather than bringing their like anxious worry that they were going to do it wrong.
Right. So if you have a deadline of a particular event needing to happen, let's say the ceremony start time, then kind of planning in advance, how long might it take to put little balloons at each person's chair, and who is really good at tying those little knots, and what time do they need to arrive at the ceremony space is one way to kind of work backwards so that by, the ceremony start time, everything that you needed to happen beforehand has been done.
Right. And to be clear, this ultimately, the responsibility for the backwards plan falls on the couple. It's their event, and the backwards plan will usually encompass the reception and other wedding events that the officiant isn't responsible for.
Exactly, including cleanup.
Yeah. Unless you're us, and you just end up with cleanup anyway.
Yeah, sure.
But not that that's happened at any weddings that we've attended.
No, we're not resentful.
No.
But we do want to help them and yourself, because you can be someone who has seen a lot of what's going into the wedding day itself, and to help them start thinking about what are all of the pieces that we've been planning in kind of separate units, bringing that together as part of the backwards plan, so that everyone knows what they need to do when, so that people can chill out when they're not supposed to be doing anything.
So, to be clear, the couple is responsible for finalizing a comprehensive backwards plan that includes all of their start to finish details. That means getting decorations to the venue, paying everybody at the end, all of that kind of stuff. And the officiant is responsible for
pulling together the ceremony so that those elements don't get forgotten as part of the backwards plan. So you have your mind on all the ceremony pieces, the who's, the what needs to get printed,
the space setup.
Thank you. And so that you can help the couple think about that and then make sure that gets included.
There'll be plenty to do. You don't need to borrow anybody's work. There'll be plenty to do. And remember that weddings are one of those places people want to help. So if it gets to be too much, your plan is also a great way to help you help yourself delegate, because all of your tasks should be listed out there and then it's easy enough to pass off.
Yes. And our last word is, it may feel overwhelming to contemplate, or help the couple even contemplate all the tasks that need to be done, but trust and believe that once they're on paper, once those tasks are delegated, once you know when things are going to be happening, everyone will be able to enjoy the wedding pre-events, the wedding ceremony and reception more when they know that it's not going to fall onto any one person to be the sweeper of the situation.
Right. So I hope you've enjoyed this evangelism of our planning process. We have more resources available for you on our website and through our course, How to Officiate a Wedding, if that's useful to you. If you have any other planning questions, please leave them in the comments. And we will see you in the next episode of Best Wedding Ever.
Rock on, Rebel. Thanks so much for joining us, officiants. If you have a question or a tricky situation we might help you navigate, please reach out by leaving a comment below or emailing us through our contact form at rebelheartrituals.com. We're so proud that you are taking your officiating responsibilities so seriously, and we're glad you're ready to rebel against should to create the best wedding ever. See you next time.